Today, on Be Something Wonderful, I changed my entire life with this one simple yet powerful decision. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Powerful session centered around two clients who made 180s in their lives with one simple decision, with one simple change in their story. Both of them, in both cases, and we're going to talk about this, that they were resisting the current script. They were resisting the current frame of reality. They were trying to change, influence, heal, fix themselves, others in their current reality. Do you see it? They were trying to influence it, manipulate it, trying to really move things from inside the current frame of reality where you can make no change, right? It's about going within and imagining how you would like things to be. But how did they do it? This is a little bit different this time. Both of them, in both cases, they made a decision, hear this is big today, to have fun. Powerful. Why is that so powerful? Because your source, who you really are, just wants to have fun. Source is spontaneous, it's curious, it's fun, it loves to frolic and just bask in joy. That's source energy. So when they made that decision, when they made that firm decision that they're not going to fight the script anymore. They're going to have an imaginal scene of having fun, of moving to that fun, that life is fun, that source is fun. What did this do? This provided that what it provided is what we talked about in previous videos, that anomalous burst of energy that moved them to a film role, to a script, to a reality where they must have fun. Right? It provided immediate alignment of heart and mind. Fun provides alignment of your heart and mind. Let's talk about this. The first client, remember, all stories exist. All possibilities. All stories that you could possibly imagine exist in that quantum field of potential, in infinity, in that God consciousness. So this client said to me, that's it. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to forgive. And we talked about nothing to improve or influence or change or heal. There's nothing. She really went to this idea. I just remembered it wrong. I forgot that I always was having fun, that I always like to have fun, that fun is my true nature. She remembered it wrong. Yes, we're here to have fun. This is what she was blurting out. Within a week, her ex-bestie, this is her ex-best friend, this is her words, called, and it had been 2 years since they last spoke, right? Or this is what it had been 2 years since we last spoke. And now she's visiting from out of town, hasn't visited that town in years. It usually was her driving to see her or visiting her. And her friend said to her, I just want to start to have fun again and just have fun. Wow, right? She made a decision that she is no longer that story of struggle, that story of trying to fix herself, fix the friendship, forgive the friendship, influence it, change it, and heal it, and just move to fun. She goes, I am source of my story, not what I remember, but what I choose to imagine, what I choose to remember. I want to choose to remember fun. I love this. Very powerful. So here it is. Think about it. You have infinity to choose from. You have all these different frames or moments of reality to choose from. Not the ones that you believe that you remember and believe and are convinced that you experienced, but all frames of possibilities, all moments, all realities, all possibilities exist in the eternity archive of film rolls. Right? Here was that old story of trying to heal the friendship, trying to make amends, trying to have a better life and reunite with this person, her best friend, trying to make that better. The old story just perpetuated, it continued as she put her focus on trying to fix it, trying to heal it, trying to forgive it, trying to make it right. But as she decided, you know what, I'm going to choose to have fun. I'm not going to try to heal anything anymore. I know that that friendship's already there, that I'm just remembering it wrong. When she did this, do you see it? She selected a new frame of reality. That got inserted into a new film roll, a new chain of events in the horizontal linear experience that changed her entire reality. You see it? Because you can pick any of these frames out of that film roll archive. Why not thread together the life of your dreams? Right? Here you are. You're always in the middle, always in the center of infinity. This is what she remembered. Right? And there's that current frame. And then there's that imagined, or who you really are, right? Where you can be anything. As she imagined it in this current lifeline, she lit it up and moved with that frame to the lifeline, a film roll of her desire. Do you see it? Because all of those other frames exist. All of these exist in that eternity archive. But she was no longer lighting those up. She moved to the new life, the new lifeline, right? And the same thing happened with the BSW client 2, Be Something Wonderful client 2. I just want to have fun. And that became her illuminated frame. That fun became her frame. Do you see it? From that center, illuminated that, which pulled together assembled a whole new lifeline, a whole new world, right? A whole new film roll, a new script that is now playing out, right? Change the past, change the present, and created this amazing future of fun. Do you see that? That's clear here. All possibilities exist. You can select anyone. Why not tell the story the way you would like it to be? You're just remembering it wrong. You are all potential. You're all moments. You're all frames. You're all realities. Very powerful. So 50 days ago in our first session, she said she was frustrated and afraid. Frustrated with her life, frustrated with things and it was over an SP, a specific person, but that's changed, right? Why isn't he changing? That was her reality. That was the film role she was in. Why hasn't he changed? That other one, BSW Client 1, was, why haven't I reunited with my friend? Why isn't she calling me? Why aren't we together? Both of those cases kept them in a script, a film role that they were trying to change, they were trying to fix, they were trying to forgive it. They were trying to find out what's wrong with themselves, what's wrong with their friend, what's wrong with their specific person, what's wrong with reality. Nothing's wrong with reality, right? If I can change him, this is what she was thinking, if I can change him, if I can change the script, if I can change reality, I can have fun and live my ideal life with my ideal SP and my ideal city. She was stuck, right? Wanting to have that fun life, wanting to have that ideal life. And if she could only fix him, if she could only fix herself, if she could only fix the script, then that would happen. She was stuck in the current frame. Do you see it right here? That frame's already moved. You're already in the future frame, but you're not in the future frame of your choice. You're in the future frame that looks a lot like the current frame, right? Do you see it? The past frame and the current frame are really all past because all your attention is here. So your attention is really in the past. It's not in the future. Right? By telling the story of wanting or changing the script keeps moving you to a similar story. Instead, illuminate your new reality, right? From your awareness as source. That's what she started to do. Do you see it? She instead went within, illuminated from that current frame, illuminated her new story, right? Which moved her to her reality, told the new story, decided to say, you know what? I am fun, and I just want to have fun. In fact, as she did that, she decided that she doesn't want that SP. He's no fun, right? She's trying to turn something into fun where there was no fun there. She just decided that's no fun, right? I'm source. I decide what is so and what my story is. In just 50 days, she said, so many things changed, right? So she decided that SP wasn't for her, right? Probably could have imagined him being fun, but she decided, nah, I'm just going to go to my fun life. Right? In 50 days, she got out of her lease without paying a $6,000 penalty. She wanted to move to a different city. So she got out of that lease, didn't even have to pay a penalty, got her new place in that new city, got her car shipped to the new city at an ideal rate, effortlessly. She found her new place. She decided to use a dating app while in that new city with the intention of only using it one time and with that one time meeting that ideal specific person that she had, she described them, right? She wrote it out. She scripted what she wanted to meet. Then on the first date, on her first connection on this dating app, she met this guy that lived in a dream. And as a bonus, his car and his house were what her dream car and house wanted to be. And he fit all of her descriptions, right? Everything she imagined and envisioned, he was that and more. On the dating app that she only used one time. She declared that I'm only going to use it one time. I'm going to move to my ideal city. Things are going to go smoothly. I'm going to create this life of fun. I'm going to have fun now. I'm not going to try to change something to have fun. I'm going to move to the fun, and the change will be there. Do you see how she stopped putting this life in the future and instead said, I'm going to move to my source, to that fun, and then my life will change. And that's what happened, right? And then she goes, she met the guy in the first date that only met her description, but had lived in that dream house that she envisioned and the car. And then she said she just got back from a trip with him to Hawaii, a romantic trip to Hawaii, something that she had on her vision board, she said. A trip to Hawaii with him, a romantic trip was on her vision board, right? Hear this. And then most important, she said she's laughing and having fun with her dream person that she created in her dream city where she wanted to live. It's all, do you see it? Most important, she's just having fun with this, right? She's creating, she's now curious about 3D reality, about what transpires, because she knows it all comes out from within her. It's not that she said, she and that other client said they're not getting things perfect. They said, it's not like everything is unfolding perfectly, but in reality it is. What I used to judge as not unfolding perfectly is actually perfect. Do you see it? She just changed everything by looking at it from that ideal. That being curious about how things unfold in 3D when they're not exactly how she intended. And then changing it on the spot and changing it as she's looking at it. Changing it as she's intending again and as she's imagining. She gets it now that she's the power, right? So in both cases, client 1 and 2, stop trying to fix, change, forgive, influence, heal, manipulate the current frame in the script. Stop trying to change it. They stopped condemning it. They stopped condemning 3D reality in the conditions around them. They started to see the greater reality in everything, right? Both with the idea or the ideal that it's no fun, it's exhausting, it's difficult, it doesn't feel good, it can't be right, it can't be ultimate reality. Source is not around not to have fun and to be exhausted, right? Instead, they move to the idea, right, that source just wants to have fun. I love this. And illuminated that ideal frame from the vantage point that I am source. And what I say and I assume is reality. That's my story. That's my new story of having fun. And I always had fun, and I always have fun. That's the new story. They changed past, present, and future. Do you see it? They lit up that current frame and turned it into their future frame. They moved from that current frame to their future frame to that ideal story. The new story, the illuminated frame, became their only reality, their only story, past, present, and future. Very powerful here. So, and this is what it looks like, right? I always like to give you that picture of that vertical, being in that vertical, being in your source, aligning with your source that I am. And remember, how did they get to that alignment? How did they get to that anomalous burst of energy or that absolute alignment with their heart and mind? Remember, you don't need an anomalous burst of energy. You are an anomalous burst of energy. You are source. It's already within you. They made a firm decision and intention to have fun. Alignment of the heart and mind. Fun is alignment. Do you see it? And remember, when they made that firm decision, remember that source within you, that God consciousness, that greater power, that love from which you come and from where you come and of which you are made, it is reciprocal. Your story in reality, your story is reality in the awareness of it. Do you see it? As soon as they moved to that, source moved to them. It was reciprocal. It is reality. When God announces reality, God is that reality. There's no time, there's no difference. Your story is reality in your announcement of it, in your awareness of it. Do you see it? And so they immediately moved. Remember, all frames on that, all frames in reality, in that film roll archive, in your horizontal linear experience, are already changing. They're always potential. Nothing is firm. Nothing is fact. Nothing is final. It's always changing. And as they lit up that new reality of having fun, they moved to that new lifeline of fun. The old story, the old frames, the old script, the old reality moved back into that quantum potential. It moves back. All of that's still potential to have any of those experiences. But it moved back into the vertical, into that potential as virtual frames in the film roll archive. Remember, they're all virtual frames. So those frames that they were living as their reality, as their horizontal experience, moved back into the quantum field of potential realities, quantum field of potential frames, of potential scripts, of potential lifelines, right, of potential experiences in the 3D horizontal reality. Moved back as a virtual frame in reality, and then this is the one they moved to and lit up. That becomes their life experience. Wow. I changed my entire life in 50 days with this one simple shift, with this one simple decision to have fun. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for joining our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, and our membership channel. There's a link below. If you've joined us, thank you for joining us. If you haven't, check out the channel. There's a lot of content. I think about 80 videos now on the channel, several live streams that we've done, question and answer live streams, and there's another one planned for September. As I said, I'm working on announcing that date. It will be a Sunday in late September at 9 in the morning right here. We're going to come to you live from Las Vegas in the studios of Be Something Wonderful, and we're going to answer your questions. You can start sending your questions to info@besomethingwonderful.com. There's also another powerful video queued up for the membership channel coming out this weekend. Creators, with great love and great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom with Be Something Wonderful. We'll see you soon.